Imagine you're stuck in the ocean, and you've been stuck there for a while, just waiting for someone to come throw you a life vest or pull you out. You're not sure where to go because all you see around you is just water. You're trying to make sense of where you are and how you got there and how you're going to get out, but nothing's really coming to you. Your mind's just going blank. You feel trapped in your own mind, and because of that, you feel forever trapped in that situation. That's how it feels to be stuck in a rut. At least for me, that is. It's like you're not dead, you're not struggling, but at the same time, you're not doing anything that you haven't already done. You're just coasting, floating, sitting there, just waiting for something to happen, waiting for someone to walk in your life and make things more interesting for you. But that's just not how it works. As someone who's been in college for 3 years now, I've had a lot of time to think about what I want to do with my life. And I have a pretty good idea of what I want to do. I'm currently in college for computer science and engineering. I want to work in IT after I graduate. And in the meanwhile, I'm doing YouTube, obviously. I'm posting these videos every week or two. And, I feel like I've really just entered a sort of routine of doing stuff. I'll go to my classes, then I'll go to the library on campus to study. And when I'm not there, I'm getting something to eat at a dining hall or something. And then last but not least, I'm going to the gym, working on arm day or leg day or chest day or back day, whichever fucking day, and doing that. And I'm going home and I'm studying some more, or I'm working on a video. What I'm trying to say is that, yeah, I have a routine for every day pretty much. I'm not saying it's a bad thing to have a routine, but at the same time, I feel like when you're in a routine for so long, just doing the same shit every fucking day, every fucking way, it starts to get really repetitive, You start getting complacent in your own life. And because of that, you start feeling bored with yourself because you're not pushing your boundaries. You're not doing shit that you don't already do. You're just doing the same shit the same way every day, same time, same place. And after a while, it just drives you fucking insane. And last semester is when I really built this routine because I don't want to get into details, but I was going for a lot of shit emotionally last semester and I didn't feel like dealing with it. So in order to not deal with it, I just created a routine for myself, Like I would go to class and I would go to the gym and I would work on YouTube and I would do other shit just so I wouldn't have to think about it. And it worked for then because, I had a lot of stuff going on. I had classes. It was fall semester. That's the longest semester in a college year. And it worked because I wasn't thinking about it. I was chilling. I was still hanging out with people. I was still doing shit, being active. I wasn't just sitting on the couch all fucking day or playing video games all day, nothing like that. I was actually being active in my own life. But then Christmas break hit. And then around that time, I just really started thinking about what was bothering me in the first place. And it really just dragged me down, I'm not gonna say I was depressed or anything, like I wasn't. It felt like it some days, but in all honesty, I really wasn't, I just felt really bored of my life. Like I really wasn't doing anything. And I couldn't explain to myself what was wrong because I genuinely didn't know. Like it's one thing to feel like something's wrong, but it's a whole nother thing to actually pinpoint what is wrong. And the shit that was bothering me really just materialized itself into self-doubt, I started doubting myself, which I usually never did before, I've always been pretty sure of myself and confident in my abilities and ultimately just very confident in myself as a person. But last semester really challenged me, I didn't know who I was. I didn't know what I wanted to be, but based on my previous mistakes in the past, I started doubting myself and ultimately just thinking I didn't deserve everything I have now, I didn't deserve all the shit that I have. I didn't deserve the friends I had. I didn't deserve to meet new people or get into a new relationship or even have a YouTube channel with 207 subs, I feel like I didn't deserve any of that. And it really just dragged me down. And it's not easy for me to talk about how I feel. I don't know if you guys can relate, but for me, I can talk about how I feel, but it really just depends on who, because I don't just open up to everybody. I used to do that, but I kept getting burned, obviously. So after a while, I just kind of stopped doing that. But I feel as if now I'm getting back to a place where I can really just be open with people and just talk about how I'm feeling and not always just say, oh, I'm doing good, or oh, everything's great, or oh, yeah, it's fine. I feel like a lot of people, I don't know about a lot of people, but at least for me, my immediate response to if someone asks me how I'm doing is, oh, I'm good. But that's not always the case, Like you can say you're good, but you can also feel as if you're not good. But you don't want them to worry about you, so you just say you're good. That's basically how I was, With that being said, last semester was definitely a challenging semester semester for me, because it really pushed me to ask myself, what do I think of myself as a person? And genuinely, why do I feel like I'm stuck in this rut right now that I can't get out of? And ultimately, how do I dig myself out of this rut so that I don't keep beating myself up about shit that already happened in the past? And the answer to that is honestly just pushing through it. I know it's pretty simple, I'll just push through it, just keep moving forward. I know it's a simple thing to hear, but that's honestly all you gotta do. You just gotta keep picking yourself up every day. Just keep getting up every morning, just wishing for better and just doing better, I know some days it might feel like nothing's gonna change or you feel like everything's gonna stay the same, but ultimately it's not. It's gonna get better. You're gonna feel way better about yourself the more you keep getting up every day and just striving to be better than you were than the previous day. When I started this YouTube channel, I had a similar mindset towards this one where it didn't matter how my video did. If my video got 10 views or if it got 5 views, hell, if it got 3 views, it didn't matter. The important thing was that I didn't give up after that video and I just keep pushing and keep making videos, and eventually I would see success. And that happened. I got a few viral videos, I got a lot of subs from them. I'm building this great community right now that I'm genuinely proud of, and it's just really something special to me, because at one point I had like 6 subs just hoping people would click on my videos, and now I just post videos not knowing what the outcome will be, but knowing that I'm gonna be happy that I posted that video and didn't give up on the dream. I didn't cave, I didn't doubt my talents, I didn't doubt whether or not I could build a community, I didn't doubt if I could get a viral video. The important thing was that I posted that video knowing that I was proud of what I came up with. And at the end of the day, that's all that really matters, is making shit that you actually care about, making content that you can look back on and smile, knowing that you put your all into that video. And that's ultimately how you should feel about life as well. No matter the outcome of the day, no matter how bad your day gets, you still keep getting up every day and pushing to make that day the best day it possibly can be. Don't give up. Don't falter. Don't tell yourself, oh, what's the point of me being here even? Don't say that shit to yourself, all right? Words are powerful. Words of affirmation are very powerful. Whatever you say to yourself is genuinely how you're going to feel throughout that day. So don't doubt yourself. Do not say negative shit about yourself. Just keep pushing. Keep patting yourself on the back. Keep telling yourself that you're as great as you think you are. And ultimately, you will get through the day and you will feel happy about it. And the next day, it'll be the same thing. And so on and so on. I want to end this video by saying that I'm genuinely grateful for all you guys. Every like, every sub, every comment, every view, it's all very special to me, I bust my ass for these videos. I genuinely spend like weeks sometimes making these videos, so I really appreciate it, I'm very grateful for all you guys, is what I'm trying to say. And I know it's been kind of rocky, the video output. I spent 3 weeks making the Rakai video, if you watch that one, and I spent 2 weeks making the video after that. But I'm finally starting to get back to a routine where I can start making videos weekly again. So I want to keep doing that. But keep in mind, if I take 2 weeks or 3 weeks to make a video, I'm a college student. I'm not always gonna have as much time as I want to do shit, and that's just something that I need to accept. And hopefully you guys already accept that as well. If you have a problem with it, I would just say get the fuck out. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I can't do anything about that, man. But just know that if I ever take like a month or two to drop a video, keep in mind that I'm probably just going through some shit, but that the minute I come back, I will explain everything. I'm not gonna apologize for it, obviously. I feel like you shouldn't have to apologize for taking a break from YouTube, Your favorite creators bust their asses to make this content for you. And then some of these people will genuinely just be super upset that they take months of the time to come back and make a video. And I get it, like, they just disappear they don't explain themselves. I get it. But the thing about it is, these people are still people, They're not gods. They're not these all-powerful beings, They're still people at the end of the day. We shouldn't be holding them to these high expectations for posting content. It's one thing if they come back and they don't explain themselves, but it's a whole different thing for them to come back and for their audience to expect an apology for them being gone for so long. It's like, I just never understood that. It's just so stupid. Why should they have to apologize for taking a break? Like, what are we doing? I got into a little tangent there, but the point is, if I ever disappear for like months of the time, I will be back. Do not worry. I'll come back. I'll explain everything. I will not give an apology, but I will explain everything. And that is that. With that being said, thanks for watching, guys. This has been Xavier Talks, coming at you with Talks. Be sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. If you want to put a comment, put it in the comment section. Follow me on TikTok, and everything else can be found at this link in description. Other than that, adios.